Hello, hello. So we're going to go a little deeper today with some more Q&A, some more questions that were coming in. So thank you so much to those who are sending in these beautiful questions. So I have my AQE, which is an ACASMA Quantum Expansion Foundations course going on right now, where I teach these higher dimensional teachings and understandings, and then I activate your consciousness, your energy being, to the remembrance, to the reconnection of itself as this sovereign being of light. So these are questions coming in from my students that are currently enrolled in the course. And if you're interested in the course, it is still open to registration until March 10th. So here we have a question coming in, and she is asking, is my faith in me my power? I got this feeling, and it expanded, that the women in my family give away their faith to the male figures. And in my case, my husband. The scenarios, the situations all show how we all have such similar situations. Some play out exactly the same way. So is it possible that this is like an ancestral thing of giving away power, not trusting ourselves to keep it, not faith in us, but we all work so hard and are so independent? That is faith in us, isn't it? As you can see, I'm thinking, how do I expand my consciousness with this knowledge that was given to me? So this is really powerful. This is what we work on in ACASMA Quantum Energy. We work on the healing of the individual spaces of the being, and then that connects in with all of the spaces, if you will, through their bloodlines, through their ancestral lineage, their mothers, fathers, grandmothers, grandfathers, and so forth. It's inevitable. We're all interconnected. It's a collective, but it starts within the individual unit, one, and moves out from there. So first off, she says, is my faith in me my power? Absolutely 100%. It is your power. Your faith is your power. Absolutely 100%. And whatever you put your faith in, you empower. So please, please remember that sentence, all right? Whatever you put your faith in, you are empowering that space. Your faith is your power, period. If you can put your faith in you, then now you've become the power. That's how it works. Whatever you put your faith in holds the power. If you put your faith in a God, a specific Godhead, a specific space of religion, that space in your life will hold the power. And when you tap into that space and seek out blessing, alignment, healing from that space, you will have more opportunity, if you will, to think you're receiving it from that space. But in essence, it's your faith that you put in that space. It's your faith alone that has healed you or freed you or blessed you or whatever it is. It's not the space you put it in. The space you put it in has power because of the faith you use in connection with that space. So if you can put your faith in you, then you have now realigned and reconnected with the truth of your power, which is it's all you. It's your faith that's healing you. And allowing yourself to place that into the understanding of yourself is how you would make that connection. Now, this is even spoken of in many different religions. And if you look at Buddha, he did not come to and teach all that he taught in order to become a Buddhist. He taught it because it was truth of enlightenment, of understanding of one's being and all that is. And Mohammed, he did not come and teach all that he taught in order to make himself a Muslim. He taught it because it was the truth of understanding of his being. And Yeshua, Jesus, he did not come to make himself a Christian or make any others into Christians. He taught what he taught because it was the truth and the understanding of his being. And it's been very, very boxed up. All these teachings, for the most part, have been very, very boxed up and in some ways extremely distorted and put into practices of hate and vengeance and suffering and condemnation and judgment that were never ever intended by what we understand as God, which is not a man or a woman, but is a vibrational frequency of love. But as that space of love, even these spaces serve a massively powerful purpose. So this is not bashing any of those spaces. This is gratitude for every single one of them, because they each brought shining light into the understanding of the supreme consciousness experiencing itself through these spaces. And what can happen if that consciousness is in a space of itself with less understanding of itself? So it can't see from the same vantage point needed to understand the space in its vastness. It's like if you were standing in a parking lot and there were 100 cars in the parking lot and you were standing in the middle, you would just be able to see the cars around you, maybe a couple rooftops, something like that. But if you left the parking lot and went into the building and you went up into maybe the fourth, fifth floor, and then you looked out the window, ooh, you would see the entire parking lot and beyond. So the vantage point of a lot of religions, cultural teachings, even some sciences, they're coming from standing in the parking lot and yet claiming that their understanding is the understanding. Yet if we leave the parking lot, if we leave those understandings and we go up a little bit above them into the remembrance of who we truly are, into our higher consciousness, our prime consciousness, our higher mind, source space, and we allow that space of ourselves to look out, that's our faith in us. All of a sudden, we see a whole lot more. And as we continue to look from that vantage point expands again and again and again. And so you begin to understand even more. So faith in you is your power, absolutely 100%. They also asked if this could be why she sees her family line, especially the women, repeating certain types of behavioral traits and experiences that are just not very loving. You know, they're experiencing relationships that are very difficult, even though these women are very independent and very strong. And so she would think that she has faith in herself, but is that the same kind of faith? No, that's not the same kind of faith. That's a physical faith. So to have faith in yourself to be able to do your job well and make a good amount of money and take care of yourself financially and support yourself and all that, that's kind of like more of a physical faith. So that's like a faith in living out what is seen as a successful woman. Okay. But faith in you means faith in the space of you that is just you utilizing the vessel of the woman, of who you are, because you're not that in its own self, like you're way more. So when I say faith in you is what moves the mountains, or I say faith in you is what heals the sick, or, you know, whatever it is, brings in the abundance, walks in joy and peace. Faith in you means faith in you as a sovereign being of light, higher consciousness, frequency, and vibration that happens to be inhabiting your human format vessel and using it like an avatar to experience itself and continue to expand. So when I say faith in you, I mean all of you, the sovereign, higher light you that's inside your vessel. All right? Your consciousness, your soul. The faith that you're speaking of, as in you think you guys, your family and you have faith in themselves because they're independent and strong and they do all these things to take care of themselves. That's like a really physical base to this timeline only kind of mindset. So there's nothing wrong with it at all, but just tweaking your vantage point from this, oh, I have faith in me because I have a good job, because I make good money, because I must have faith in me. Absolutely 100% you do. But to move the mountains of the generational cycles you're seeing, the women need to have, and the men need to have faith in and a vantage point from love. And that is what's going to move those mountains and shift those lives and change those spaces. Love, because they're all steeped in fear. If there's cycles repeating that are not optimal and that are uncomfortable, it's because those spaces have not been healed or given love. But it's not about a dark night of the soul and let's get all up in it and spend years and years and years in healing processes. That's not what it's about. It's about moving into the space of understanding yourself as energy and everything else as energy. You allow space for healing, you allow space for wisdom, you allow space for love. Yes, absolutely. But don't get stuck there. That's called a cycle in just another way, cycled healing. It's not healing. Everything is energy and everything carries a vibrational signature. So when you understand that, you surpass the need or even the desire or the want to get all up in any of these spaces and cycle out healing processes. So trust yourself and allow, lean in and allow, trust your faith in you. So if you feel drawn to this space, to this work, to my teachings, please reach out and find a way to connect even more and even deeper. I have a beautiful monthly class on Patreon once a month. And I also offer a lovely audio link and candle service once a month through that platform as well. There's 2 tier levels to choose from. You can come and go as you please. And it's a wonderful place of connection. I have all my free content here on YouTube, also have content on TikTok and IG, Instagram, and have my course spaces and session spaces I offer. You can go to my website, sacredexpansion.com, and see all that I offer there. So I am so honored to do what I do. I'm so grateful I woke up and remembered everything I'm here to bring forth and to have you to bring it to and to walk with me as I walk with you. We're here for this, holy divine ones. We are here for this. It is time to rise into our remembrance of our sovereign beings and live from that space of ourselves. So, unending blessings upon you, holy divine one. Unending blessings.